Songs Considered.
Here on NPR.
I'm Adam.
And I'm, oh my God, what is his name? Joe. Oof.
I don't know all songs. I truly never listen to all songs considered.
Joe Montello?
Joe Manganiello, the baker guy who does the fake cakes. He's the guy.
Bob Mondello.
He's not on All Songs Considered. Oh. He is the film critic.
Oh.
He's NPR's film critic, yeah.
This is not funny to anyone, but it's just going to bother me.
I happen to know that we have some people
that work in public radio
girlies that listen.
That's true. There are, yeah.
I'm sure they're listening, already annoyed that how the levels are spiking. So
Stephen Thompson, of
course.
Are you more of the Stephen Thompson?
Is this now? We're not doing Cinema Paradise. We're just going to do a review of
all
the
songs,
music critics
of NPR music specifically.
I like Stephen Thompson. I don't listen to all Songs Considered, but I do listen to
Pop Culture Happy Hour,
of which he is a major contributor. And something I like about Stephen Thompson is that he's almost always very willing to find something that he likes about something. Mm-hmm. And that is the type of review that I like. That doesn't mean he always finds something, but he doesn't go in being like, oh, I'm going to hate this, which I always really like. But Linda Holmes is, of course, my favorite. I think she's...
Of course.
I have never disagreed with her on any single thing she's ever said.
Yeah.
Well, RJ, what are we doing today?
Today we are doing an album deep dive.
I'm going to have to do not disturb because the girls are going off on the...
All the girls are girling, you can say.
All the girls are girling. It's true.
We are doing an album deep dive of Zerobaseone's most recent mini album, Cinema Paradise.
Their fourth mini
album. I used to think it was Cinema Paradiso. I don't know why. I was just like...
The movie is called Cinema Paradiso.
Oh, that it's referencing.
Yeah. Is that Alfonso Cuarón? Cinema Paradiso? Oh, no. Giuseppe Tornatore.
Sure.
So it's Italian. Coming of age dramedy film.
Okay, coming of age. Do you think that has something to do? No, I actually don't.
I don't think this is a coming of age.
Because I was trying to listen and like, is there some sort of thematic thing that they're going with? With the album, with the music. I don't know if it's more thematic that holds them all together, but it definitely feels like a departure from the first three albums.
So what I have found, not in all songs, but
not in all songs that are considered
are being considered today. No, but a running through line that I found in multiple songs is this refrain of eternity. This refrain of like
Bob Boilen. That's who
continuing
it was.
forever. Bob Boilen.
Bob Boilen. Yes.
I'm glad you took that long to figure out who you're talking about.
I had to Google all kinds of NPR music stuff. I found Bob Boilen. Yes, eternity. Oh, interesting.
But something never ending. And I also think, I mean, obviously like Insomnia, which we're going to talk about each song individually, but Insomnia isn't necessarily on the surface the same way, but like there's something about not being able to end your day keeps going because your feelings are so overwhelming. So I felt like that just kept coming up as like a thematic thing for this album. But I also think moreover, the biggest theme for the album is like kind of taking charge of your own destiny.
Yes.
Which goes back to the
music video too.
The music video, but also kind of their story. The story of Zerobaseone is the boys who go from started zero and continue on together to one. They're chasing after their dreams together. So I think that in their lineage of their discography is kind of still continuing that through line, even though we are now out of the You Had Me at Hello trilogy.
Well, do you think there was a style that connected those three albums, or was it more just like what they were like message that they were trying to convey?
If I was to think about those three albums as a piece,
they felt more like we're connecting to you zeros, like not necessarily like who we are, but like it feels more I'm reaching out to zeros like directly.
Yeah.
There's something a little bit more direct.
This feels more, I mean, almost all these songs feel like more love songs.
Yeah.
Truly than their songs previously.
They're definitely more evocative.
Yes. But also, I mean, just production wise and like the songs themselves, they are, every song feels like I can watch it happen as I'm listening to it. That's
literally what I was thinking. I was like, if they did an album, if they visualized an album, this would be the one.
Okay. Let's pull back. So
Zerobaseone is a group that was from the survival show.
We got to do the NPR explanatory comma, of course. So we had done for Melting Point
We
watched the album visualizers.
Yes.
And while I think people liked us doing that,
people like album reactions in general.
We did not feel comfortable with that format of something because music is not a first consumption thing. Yeah. There is a lot to interpret in music that like a music video is very different. So much of it is visual. It's the first time you're seeing it, blah, blah, blah. And there is, of course, you can go back into music videos and kind of parse through and find things new again. But with music specifically, it felt like it was a disservice, especially because I remember talking about that album and looking back, I think I've changed some of my order of the way I like some of those songs. So I wanted to
first listen. Yeah, your first listen is different than like you actually taking the time to listen to them.
So that was why we are trying this format for this one. And if we feel like it goes well, then maybe we'll do more. We'll go back and do blah, blah, blah. So do we feel like we got a good lay of the land here?
I think so. So how did you want to structure this? Are we going to go track by track? So we're going to go
track by track.
Okay.
Because I'm basing it off of, it's a little bit, obviously it's NPR, but it's also a little bit of, I love on the Read whenever a Beyonce album comes out and they go track by track and talk about what they like about each track.
It's so funny because when I was telling Adam today, like to get into the mindset of like analyzing an album, I like listen back to Renaissance.
Yes. RJ was like, well, I really had to feel like I need to listen to what is a standard of a really great album. And so he compared this album.
I didn't compare it, but
Renaissance.
I didn't compare it to Renaissance, but
how did it fare, RJ? Was this better than Beyonce?
I think both, utilize a lot of queer influence that I think No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to 10s across the board, honey.
Across the board.
Uncle Johnny made my dress that cheap spandex. I wanted to put in my mind frame, in the context, what came before me so that I could analyze what will come after.
I'm going to say something also before we get started is that RJ and I are facing each other, which we only do for the recaps, but there is, because I'm not worried about like a camera seeing me, I'm really looking into RJ's eyes.
I know
it's very interesting.
It's very interesting.
Shall we get started?
Let's get started. Let's listen to Cinema Paradise.
So the first track on this album is their title track, which we've already listened to via their music video
reaction.
And we did talk a little bit about it there, but this song is called Good So Bad. So first of all, this song is one of their greatest composed title tracks so far.
Yeah, it's like it's complicated.
Yeah.
Like in a good way. Mm-hmm. There's thought that's put into it.
Yeah. It doesn't feel as kind of light and fluffy, especially coming off of the Feel the Pop
era.
And even Yura Yura to some extent.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And Yura Yura obviously comes back on this album, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But it is a completely different title track than we've heard from them previously. Mm-hmm. And I think it is genuinely good. I think it is a really strong song. And I think one of my favorite aspects is, especially if you listen to this with like headphones on or earbuds in, there is the synth that travels between your ears during the chorus is so cool. And then honestly, if you go back and listen to the harp that does the same thing and Feel the Pop, I really like that there's a connection there, that they kind of have this like melodic, like steps up and down between your ears in both of those songs, even though they're utilized with two different instruments, giving the tones completely different feels. This is so heavily 80s.
Yeah. Very Stranger Things, very retro. It's like that peak of Stranger Things, because I know Stranger Things will like kind of each season kind of is more specific to one aspect of that time period that they're going for, but it's that mall aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of like, neon.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is interesting because the visuals that we see are more about that, like, playing into that storyline of a movie set. So they're like playing on different like tropes of movies and stuff.
Yeah. I think what I was anticipating with this album, Cinema Paradise, because they lean in so heavily with the like imagery of a movie, is that I was wondering if they were going to go with like kind of like everything was fake, like the fakeness of movies. That's not really where they ended up, but I wondered if that was going to be what they did.
Like visually, like In Bloom was more fake. You know what I mean? Like they were like flat sets, like that scene of the shot of them going after the thing, the like long shot where they
the tracking shot, or
the like three compositions that they did.
Yeah, the poses.
Yes. Yeah. Because they were playing more of the like it's a video game, so it's like it resets, and that was like the whole that first album was very much that. That's what they were trying to convey. That like we're not perfect from the get go.
Right,
we're like the idol group that is evolving.
They're in bloom. They haven't bloomed yet.
Yeah, I think this title track it doesn't sound like other K-pop that I've heard. I'm sure there are K-pop that recently. There's nothing in 5th gen currently right now that kind of sounds like this.
No.
I think there are songs elements. Where there are elements that they'll use synth or they'll use like that 80s sound, but like the fact that the song doesn't really have like a big vocal like moment, like it is high in the chorus, like they do that like make me feel good, then it's so bad. Like it like goes out up and out like the chorus line basically.
There's no power vocal. But there is a really strong melodic line in the song that I find really fun and fascinating. And the like in the chorus, the do 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 do, that is so fun to listen to. And like even though I think there is kind of like the song has a bit of an inflection of melancholy to it, because it's like
all of their songs gonna have
you're trying to like hold on to this person,
but it's like things are always changing. I was reading some of the lyrics. It's like in the ever changing like place, ever changing whatever. It's like one person like stays the same. I actually think it has a lot more in common from Feel the Pop than anything, because it's the like Feel the Pop has that like piano riff that they keep using over and over again that they are using here too. They're using the synth, like what you just did, that musical tag that you did. Something's got to hook you in a pop song. Yeah. And I think they do a good job. Maybe they do a good job of it. It's not coming through in the vocal lines. Like it's not like something that they're singing, but it's like in the
song itself.
It's in the song itself. That's why I think, you're right, that it is the most involved in the production. Yeah. Because it's trying to tell the story through the audio production more so than the actual.
I mean, you could even tie that idea though back to Crush, and everybody made fun of the pots and pans and spoons, but there is that still like that pots and pans and spoons has that melodic like jumping around through the like steps of the melody in it that I think is really interesting too. Yeah, that they've used now multiple times.
I love the bridge. I love this bridge.
I love that Matthew has the bridge.
Give me more bridges. Give me more bridges in music. I love the bridge.
I mean, my biggest complaint about the whole album is that it's 7 songs and it's 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
I know.
The whole album is 20 minutes?
Yes, girl.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I really love this bridge. Matthew.
Me at the Golden Gate.
Me at the Golden Gate. I really love this bridge. I think
me driving into Brooklyn.
I don't know if that's just music now, but it was kind of how I felt with Feel the Pop too. But like I wish the last chorus, the way it ends, it had like a bigger finish. Because it kind of just like does the chorus again and then it just like trails so bad. Yeah.
Yeah. It does that. Yeah. It does it with Feel the Pop too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wish it was like.
I think all their title tracks do that. Where it just kind of ends.
Yeah.
There's no like swell.
Well, at least with In Bloom, it had like a tag at the end, like "'Cause of You," the Ricky tag. So they felt like there was and the song is done. I need a button of some kind.
A button. We got to get a button in
But they
here.
just like, they just pull you out. But it's so interesting because, not to bring back to Beyonce, but like,
oh my God.
Like Renaissance songs specifically go into one thing to the other because you're meant to experience it as an album. I don't think like K-pop, really does that where it's like you experience an album. I mean, also they don't, it's very rare that you get a full album with more than like 7 or 8 songs, right?
A full length album. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Since these are all mini albums, they don't expect you to experience it in like one thought. You know what I mean?
Well, yes, but also, I mean, Beyonce has kind of, I would say, perfected that idea of like, here's what I'm specifically going for with this album in a way that not even a lot of pop stars do.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think this, while at first glance, this album seems a little bit disparate, I still feel like there's a through line through the album. I think so
too. I mean, the whole thing is called Cinema Paradise. There's like this level of, there's a fantasy, right? With ZEROBASEONE, they're not explicitly being like, we're like the magical girl boy group, but there is something about them that they're like, we're like
Pixie Dream Girl.
Yes, we're like fantastical in some sense. It's not specific. They're not lore, but there's something like with their music and in their music videos, there's like something very dreamlike about
whimsical.
Them. Yeah. So the song was produced by Kenzie. Written by Kenzie, was one of the composers.
Not to be confused with Kedzie Street in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doors open on the left at Kenzie. Kenzie is like a very well-known K-pop writer producer. You maybe have heard some of their songs. 90s Love, big NCT, big SM town. So they did a lot of like Taeyeon, Super Junior, EXO, which is interesting because one of the songs that I thought about listening to Good So Bad is Red Velvet's Feel My Rhythm, where they use that classical song as like a sample.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's probably a clear sample in Good So Bad. I just don't know, but it feels like it's taking the feeling of what you get from a well-known sound. I think here is that synthy feeling, that synthy tag, and like turning it and making it like relevant today, which I think is what I liked about like some of Red Velvet songs, especially with Feel My Rhythm. And that was like the sense that I got transported to listening to anything that plays around with like a nostalgic sound.
Yeah.
That I really love. But yes, Kenzie wrote Forever One, which we love that song too, where there's like that evocative feeling of like, I don't know, it just feels like good. I don't know how to describe it other than like, it feels warm. Hello Future by NCT Dream. That was another song too that I'm like, there's something, not that it's inspirational, but there is something uplifting and evocative about the song. It feels yearning, but like good yearning, not like I'm searching for you, I'm looking sad. For you. Yeah.
So the next song is a song called Kill the Romeo.
Interesting title.
So has there ever been
Romeo?
Has there ever been any of their? Usually they have a title track and then they have their one B-side they're promoting.
Promote.
Has there ever been two that feel as in conversation as these two do? Because it feels like this song directly ties into Good So Bad.
Thematically or?
Well, I think
sonically.
Not necessarily sonically, although
it feels like an answer.
This feels like an answer, but it feels like a continuation of the story from Good So Bad.
Right.
I think it's interesting that Good So Bad talked about change, and then this song also talks about
changing. Like we're not doing the tragedy, Diva.
Taerae in the pre-chorus, he has, it's too late to go back now before the moon sets. I'll change everything tonight.
Changing the course. We don't want to, we're not taking the poison, Romeo, darling.
Also, I'm ready to see this song in a samba on Dancing with the Stars.
Why have they not done? I'm sure they've done K-pop at Dancing with the Stars.
I'm sure they did like Dynamite.
No, I think that now that you say that does sound like that sounds correct.
Has probably happened.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I think this is more K-pop, like from the genre that I know of, like a blend of styles.
Yes, reaching across the world
to like make
this is
a very commercially like boppable song.
Clearly Latin influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of rapping too. A lot of rapping from our boys that we've heard that we haven't heard in a song that has.
They've just decided that Gyuvin's a rapper.
I know.
They just made that choice.
I know. I mean, he's very good at it. He's got a great tone for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it feels like an answer to Good So Bad. It's interesting that like this is the one that they're promoting as like this is the one getting the studio tune. This is the one that's like the performance song because I think it's just
at this point. I don't know if you have. I haven't seen this song on stage.
No, I have not.
So I don't know what the choreo looks like.
I don't know.
But that's kind of why I like doing this in the auditory format because it like more forces us to just listen to the song.
I know what I'm gonna. Yeah. So that way, when we watch those performance videos, I'm just watching the performance. I'm not also like learning the song.
I'll give a spoiler. There's really only one song that falls off a cliff for me.
Oh, interesting.
But this song and another one we'll come to later are like tied for my favorite song.
Oh, really? Okay,
album.
interesting.
It's not Good So Bad. Although I think like Good So Bad is something like,
really interesting. But that's funny because in my personal taste and what I like about music, there are two songs in this album that I like am goo goo gaga over.
Have we listened to either of them yet?
No, not yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
Wow. No, I love this. But I love Anti-Fragile. Like I love when
you get to play with
Latin flavor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's just like so
Latin
percussive.
Beat is so great.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so percussive. It just gets like it's your heart racing. Your body is bumping.
You just want to dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I just want to dance. Let's dance.
I like to dance. Next on our list is The Sea, the ZB1 remake of The Sea.
So this song is a remake of a 97 song by a co-ed group named Up.
Okay.
But it's pronounced UP. It's an acronym for Ultra People.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a song in the 90s. And she does sound like it, girl. It sounds like a song from the 90s. That's
so two things. I think that again, we have this like callback. There's a very specific boy band sound that is pre-NSYNC. It's the pre-Max Martin kind of infiltration of boy bands. It's like the New Kids on the Block. Obviously, like they reference that group name in New Kids on the Block from their first mini album. This song sounds like that, but also this song, and I mean this in the way that this was my favorite song from like 2022? This song sounds like Candy.
The NCT Dream remake.
The NCT Dream remake of Candy. And I got my whole life to the song.
Ass was
because
shaking
then you like
to the sea.
Similarly to Candy, it sounds like it's like the lightest pop. Like
it sounds like
just fun.
You're immediately transported to like being a kid.
And the lyrics are like, why don't you love me? Like it doesn't sound like the song at all. The lyrics don't match, but I kind of like that dichotomy or that like that juxtaposition.
Yeah. Yeah. I immediately thought of Candy. I love a song that you can sing along to.
Yeah. This song is such a summer album.
Totally. But what I did make a connection with, Cinema Paradise, right? There's something like evocative about why do people watch movies? It's to get like transported, and like this song feels like, oh, I'm watching a summer blockbuster. I'm watching like a it's Crossroads.
Yes.
You know, like that feeling of, oh, this is a song that I could feel like it was Britney driving down the road, you know, like
and Shonda Rhimes wrote it.
Yes. It's that feeling that this song could easily be in like, you know, a soundtrack.
Yeah. I also love that the production at the beginning of the song has the like,
that's true.
Kind of the ambience.
You hear
at the beach.
You hear the people, you hear the seagulls, you hear the waves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a song that you play out and then just like have fun at the beach. Let's go get away.
I think this song and one other song on this album are very good about like you feel like you're in the movie. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what song I'm talking about?
I'm curious to see if it'll be the one that I'm thinking of. Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite songs in this album.
The weakest part of the song is the fact that it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds long.
I know.
Ugh. Well, somebody has to get rid of TikTok.
Has TikTok truly ruined pop music?
I mean, at least we're still getting bridges. Some groups like are fully like just bridgeless. Like some songs.
Yes, Cat's Eye Diva.
Cat's Eye, but like even like
ABAB done.
Sabrina Carpenter's like album she just came out with is like 14 songs and it's like 6 minutes long. It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's crazy. Let's go back to 4-minute songs. Do you remember 4-minute songs? Do you remember the best part about Crown is that, sorry to talk about TXT, but the best part about Crown is that it's like, this isn't over yet. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Next song on our list is track number 4, Insomnia. Let's talk about this immaculate conception of a song.
We were listening to the song and Adam was like, I'm going to tell you right now, this is my favorite song of this entire album.
It's also your favorite song?
Yes, I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed that we both think that.
Can I say my favorite part of the song? Do you have a favorite part of the song?
No, I just think the whole song, I love the song. Yeah.
There is an aspect to the chorus that feels like it goes a little bit faster and they're like chasing the beat to catch up with it. And I the first time I heard it, I thought Zhang Hao was like under the rhythm. Like I thought he was like falling behind, but I was like kind of obsessed with like thematically the song is about being like, you're stuck in your head. Like your mind can't fall asleep because you're like so addicted to thinking about this person or whatever. I'm just so, and I don't think it's like intentional, but I also don't think it's not intentional.
Come on. These producers,
they're on the beat, but it's just so slight that I felt like I was like, ooh.
I think it's because that tag of the dun 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 dun. That is that when you can't sleep and you just have like the same tag, like for me that happens a lot when I have like headaches actually, where it's like I keep playing the same chorus over and over in my head. It's that feeling, and I think the vocals are trying to like chase after or get away from it, which I think is really interesting. That like specific tag too, that dun 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 dun, it to me reminds me back to like 90s PlayStation-y, new Nintendo, like game music, like round one fight, and then it's just dun 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 dun, like Street Fighter, Tekken, like that kind of like, it's like that BGM loop that Adam hates because he always, whenever I play video games, he's like, "Can you please mute it? I just keep hearing the same thing over and over again." But like that's what this song is like. Giving tea, that's what it's going for.
The other thing I really like about the song is, and I do not think this is intentional. I think I'm probably reading into it, but I like the callback to Good Night from Melting Point.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that's what they're doing, but I also like that you can read it that way.
They are like the dream. They're like a dream. Yeah. Like this is a group that you made up in your mind, in your dreams. Yeah. And now they're real. Yeah. And so that's why they're going for like these titles on their songs.
I think the song is so good.
Yeah.
I think this song is so good. I love this and Kill the Romeo are my two favorite songs.
Oh, interesting.
On this album.
Mine are The Sea and This.
Oh, This and the Sea.
This and the Sea, yes. Because I love it. I think like my favorite genre of music is summer bop. Summer bop. And songs to sing along to. And I think The Sea evokes that, and this song is more of like, there's something crawling under your skin about this song too. I think it is. You're right. It's evoking that feeling of can't get away from insomnia.
I think it's like the perfect placement on the album too, right after The Sea, before this next song. I think it's like perfect. I love this song. Okay, and now we go to the next track, which is track number 5, Road Movie. 신경 안 써난 가는 길 Alright 저 끝까지 ride it in 이 순간까지 있는 길이 나의 길 멈출 수 없는 my race 속도를 더 높이 올리지 Highlights 속 시작들 Odyssey 매 순간 영원까지 우리 이야기 내 감각을 믿고 따라가
Adam, what do you think of Road Movie? It's a movie.
This song is tough for me. This song is real tough for me. I have come as I have grown into, types of
Music,
genres of K-pop
opening your
songs.
yes.
I am not a chant song.
Yeah.
They're the toughest for me.
That is used a lot in K-pop. A lot of
boy groups.
A lot of boy groups will do it. Yes.
I have to really like the song itself for the chant to work.
We love a Two Baddies, right?
I genuinely love Two Baddies.
But that chant is like, there's a little bit of campiness to it because they're chanting this
about Porsche. It's so funny.
It's silly.
Yes.
There's a little bit of campiness that I think has to go into the chanting to make it like, okay, you're like pulling back and like, okay, this is
silly.
silly.
Think that is like, that's the unintentional. That's the ideal camp.
That's ideal.
Like,
yes.
They did not intend that to be funny, but I think it's really funny.
Yes, exactly.
But that's what I find charming about it.
Yes.
I'm not disparaging that song either.
Right.
I like that song a lot, but I like it for a different reason than I think other people like that song.
Yes. Yeah, but here's what I'm going to give this song.
Okay.
She's getting an A for effort because bitch, you start in a nice little noir film and then you get into
we get some instrumental, we get some like strings.
Yes, and then you are in bring in the noise, bring in the funk. You are in 21 Jump Street right away. Like kind of goofy, not goofy,
it sounds like an NCT song. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah. From the very beginning.
But they are going back and forth to these places. Yeah.
Yeah.
Experimental fish.
So here's my thing about the song. I like a lot of different elements of the song, actually. Yeah. Like I really like I really like the pre-chorus a lot.
It's hard for me to even think about like what was the chorus.
I really like
because they were so disparate, like within the song.
So I really like the pre-chorus, which is like when it slows down and becomes really melodic. I really like the pre-chorus. I like the reference to D1 Be the One that Ricky has earlier in the song. I think that's like really clever. I love that the song, again, like we're talking about, if the whole album is about them changing course, they're taking control of their own destiny. This is the song that is like, we are now on a new road.
Yes,
we are
literally
on our road that we are creating for ourselves. And I think that is really cool. I think like its placement on the album track list really makes sense. I like Ricky rapping on this song.
I know.
I think he sounds really good.
The rap break just in general is like, ooh, like it's like you said, it's such a departure. It's showing that they're doing something new.
Yeah. And that's about it. But it's like the whole thing is just it's not. It falls off a cliff for me.
But
I would still listen to it again, but it's the toughest sell for me.
I do like the strings, the classical with the hip hop over it. I like when music plays around with that clash, like what I just said about Red Velvet.
I think it's fun. I think it makes sense. I'm sure that they had a great time recording it.
Totally.
They all love that shit.
But this is a song in the mini album. Do you know what I mean? Like it is just to serve a spot in the mini album to like complete to give you a full.
I think I feel about this the way a lot of people felt about Solar Power.
Getting hotter.
Yeah.
Make it
I really like Solar Power, but I think a lot of people were very like, what is this?
But see, the thing with Solar Power, it starts, it's like what, a minute and a half, and it's
so short.
It starts, You Had Me at Hello. So it's like, it's really more of a taste. It's not meant to.
Tone setting.
It's really more tone setting. It feels like interlude.
Fish. Let's go to our last original song on this album called Eternity.
A little bit at the end. Give me an ending, girls.
The lyrics of this song make me cry when I read them. So I was just tearing up, just rereading as we were listening to that song.
Yeah, boy.
It's, first of all, it's obviously there's the reference to In Bloom because they say we've bloomed together. It is such a clear song that is 4 zeros.
Totally. There's always like one song
one.
for the fandom, right?
And it's always like a kind of a send off to the album.
Send off, exactly, totally.
And Like Goodnight I loved Goodnight in Melting Point. This is similar in tone or energy to that.
This is like the spot for the ballad too.
How
like
usually they make a song that's like, let's just hold our hands and continue for eternity. Because
we're constantly thinking about the clock, bitch.
Because girls.
It's not guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Nothing in life is guaranteed.
Promising.
Stop promising eternity.
Stop putting these in the songs. Stop.
I mean, I know you're saying videos. Eternity and like in a mindset. You know, you'll always have the music. You know,
we'll always have the music, but I want more than the music.
But I want more than the music. I need all of you nine together for the rest.
I need this for my own personal mental health and well-being.
Yeah.
So
I really like the song. I was saying it fills the ballad that I feel like they've had at least like one, like the send off, the sentimental song, the ballad. It's not, I think You Had Me at Hello was like Hello was like the most ballad song that they've done in an album. That, and like Goodnight, I would say. So like this is a little bit more, less serious in that way, like musically. So it's nice.
But again, RJ, this goes back to your whole idea that they're just fantasies. Like the whole song is like, we're just a fantasy, like blah, 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 blah. Take my hand and we'll go together.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's really coming through. And I know they're not doing it heavy lore, which I don't need, right?
No.
Not everyone has to be vampires.
Not everyone has to be vampires. Not everyone has to be werewolves. Not everyone has to be pirates.
Yeah. So, but I like a consistent brand.
Yeah.
Okay. I like tuning into something that I know that like they know what they're trying to do. I just like when groups, when entities know what they're known for and will use that to like make themselves stand out.
I think when this really album was announced, I was a little anxious because obviously the last one just came out in May.
True.
This is August.
I know. It's a quick turnaround.
And so I was like,
how different?
I think this is probably... it's not my favorite mini album of theirs.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's probably their strongest, like in terms of like, it's so music. Thought out.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like every decision has been made in a really concise, clear way.
What is your favorite mini album?
I think it is You Had Me at Hello.
I think mine is Melting Point. Crush is not my favorite title track.
Crush is my least favorite title track, yes.
But that mini album is so good.
The mini album is great. Yeah.
It just felt like the perfect winter mini album. Genuinely.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Eternity, there's something very, I'm so sorry to do this. There's something very Bangtan about it. There's something, I think it's in that feeling of giving back to zeros.
Yeah. I mean, we can put our academic caps on and we can like look at this from a lens of like, this is again, fostering the parasocial relationship, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, sure.
And of course,
yeah,
but also like, that's why I like it. And it's also good.
And the song is also good. That's the thing.
Really good.
You can have that intent, but like the song is good.
Yeah. You know, Han Yujin gets to have his little baritone Yujin moment. His voice is so low in this. I was like, okay, King. You better.
Yeah. I think like vocally, I don't know if like just overall in the album vocally, like who stands out to you?
Sock Matthew.
Me too.
He has so much to do vocally in this. I think he has a lot of bridges in this album. Yeah. And it's so exciting to hear him. I love Matthew has such a unique tone to his voice. I can always tell. I'm curious if for Koreans, it sounds like he's singing with an accent, because to me, it sounds like he's singing with an accent, but then I'm like, maybe I'm just an idiot.
Yeah.
I love when he gets to sing. And I think
me too.
His smile is so infectious. It comes through in every song he sings.
You can hear him smiling.
Yeah. It makes my heart like really warm hearing it.
My favorite vocal performance in this, there's still one track left, but I just want to say my favorite vocal performance in this is Jiwoong in The Sea.
Oh, yes.
So Jiwoong just sings in like a very high register.
Very high register, very nasal.
Very nasal. Yes. Very nasal.
You gotta protect the element. Yes. You gotta protect the instrument.
And I think it works so well in those lighter songs.
Yes. Especially like the 90s sound of it all.
Totally.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He sounds so happy, and in the song in The Sea, he sounded great. Like even in his line in Feel the Pop, right? Like of him in the second verse, just so bright that I'm like, it like pierces through.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I think like some people aren't a fan of the nasal, but to me it works because it's just enough.
And I love that in this voice, I can hear everyone's distinct voice.
Yeah.
It's so easy to pick out their voices.
I'm not good at that with other groups.
I'm really not good at that with other groups. Like in Hanbin, sometimes I still have
yes.
trouble.
Jungwon is like the one that I'm like, okay, that's Jungwon.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like I'm still having a hard time. But yeah, I love when I can hear the individual voices. And I love that they have songs like The Sea, that they make title tracks like Feel the Pop, where like that, they're taking into consideration that voice can work in the songs, you know?
Yeah. I also want to shout out every time he sings, I think he is like I think he's one of my favorite vocalists in the 5th gen, and it's Ricky. I just think he is completely underrated as a singer.
Totally.
There are constantly these stupid fucking TikTok lists of people being like the best singers, and then they'll put somebody goofy, like they'll put Jay in like average to adequate, and it's like,
just
girl,
like
shut up.
just to get a rise.
Just to piss people off. Ricky should be on everyone's list as one of the people to listen to.
Well, here's the thing.
I am obsessed with the way he has he's clearly listened to R&B for so long.
Oh my God.
And he's like internalized it.
I want them to do units. I want them to sing songs in units.
I do too.
The entire time I was thinking of B, like the BTS album B, as I was listening to this album. And that was one of my hopes. Like not Kill the Romeo. If Road Movie was just like gyuvin, gunwook, Ricky, Matthew, you know, like that energy. Like if a song was just like the hard parts of it, like that could be really compelling to me.
Yeah.
And like if Eternity or like another type of ballad song was just like taerae, how, you know, hanbin just giving me like R&B, like vocals. I would buy into that.
I don't love the conversation around line distribution because I think there's a real conversation to be had, but I think unfortunately because of stan culture, that conversation always gets away from us.
It gets away from, yes. And it becomes more about like
how many seconds does each
when music doesn't work like that.
That's not how music works.
It really doesn't.
So that I don't love entertaining that, but I always would love to hear more from Ricky.
Totally.
Because I think he is I just think he is such a unique and cool instrument. Yeah. But they don't really do R&B kind of style songs either to really feature that. And so maybe in the future, I mean, all of these songs I would have never thought they could do this or would do the sound. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're capable of going into exploring different styles and songs.
Yeah. And they're not doing, I mean, it's hard because every era has been a little different. Obviously, like that's K-pop's defining features. Like every concept is unique.
And they're able to do concepts.
But while on the whole, their songs are typically brighter, like they have a brighter energy to all of their music. They are working in different kind of genres and stuff that I think is really interesting. And I urge them to continue exploring that because I think they have such a good assortment of vocalists and performers that I think they can like do.
And I think they've proved it now too, that like no matter what they churn out, people will listen anyway. So why not be creative and like
just go for it?
Yeah. Take a risk. Should we talk about Yura baby
in Korean?
This is when I felt like it was B, because like B had a very clear connection with all of the songs, and then Dynamite at the end. Which I mean, like that was the whole thing too of B, of like you know, like let's get out of the pandemic. Let's have like a hyper pop song at the end. This song, they already released it. It was their Japanese debut. Like it's the Korean version. I just realized that this was the last time we've heard that garage beat,
from In Bloom.
From the first I mean, it was in all 3 title tracks of In Bloom. I guess Feel the Pop didn't have it there, but it was in Crush. Like that kind of garage band beat.
This song's, I mean, I think we said it when we watched this video way back in March, but like this sounds like the title sequence to an anime.
Totally. It's an interesting, title sequence.
It's amazing.
Which, I mean, it does fit in the Cinema Paradise. Like,
how do you feel about whenever they do neither the Korean nor the Japanese version, although I feel this way about English versions though too. I always, it's the first time I hear something, that is the version I prefer to listen to.
Yeah, totally.
So if it's the Japanese version I heard first, that's the version I'm going to always want to listen to, and vice versa for Korean. If it's English, right, and they do an English version originally, then I only want to hear the English version.
It's whatever the original intent of the song was that I'll usually go by.
Yeah.
I'm not... like we make the joke of like when TXT sings Cat and Dog in America, we don't want to hear the English version. I know.
Never want
I know
to hear
that's. I know you made it, but we don't want to hear it.
I'm thrilled that somebody did the translation. I don't. I want to hear the Korean version.
Yeah. That's kind of how I feel when they do the versions in different.
I didn't mind this, obviously.
No,
but if I'm going to listen to Yura Yura,
but I thought that they did.
For me,
but I thought they did this because that they were going to promote Yura Yura in Korea. But they didn't.
No.
I thought they were going to do like a third, but
I think they might have done it just so they can add it to their list.
Just they can add it
for the concerts.
For the tour coming up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Like
they could have just done it in Japanese.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, K Lunes and J Lunes are fighting. So you know what I mean? Girl. We're not us inter fans.
Let me not comment on what's going on over there.
As inter fans, we kind of have like they're never gonna make music that's like English. So we're always kind of like a whatever it always will.
Do you think they're gonna do an English track at some point?
ZB1?
Yeah.
I could see them doing one.
Yeah.
If they think that they can really crack the like inter fan of it all.
Yeah.
The global of it all. If they go for Billboard. Which, look, going for Billboard is tough.
It's not easy.
It's not easy, girl. The people who are like, quote unquote, the best in the genre can't even do it without like getting so much controversy around it or whatever. So I could see them doing it, but I hope that it's intentional. Because like Twice will do like an English track once in a while and they'll like actively promote it as like their single that they're promoting. Yeah. Even in Korea.
Like I think Darling from 17 is a really good example of like, I really like that song.
Yeah.
And it feels intentional that's in English.
Yes.
And Yeah.
Yeah. Like for me, like when I think of Twice, I think of The Feels. Like that song was like everywhere. Even if you weren't listening to K-pop, you heard that song. So I think it could work.
Yeah.
As a finish to this album, it feels appropriate that like if there was something, then it would be.
It feels like an encore.
Yes.
After eternity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it makes sense. I mean, it literally is an encore. It's an encore of the song that you already know. Yeah. So it's fun.
Okay, Adam.
Yes.
Rank it. What was your favorite?
Rank the songs.
Are we counting your Korean version?
Oh, we don't have to. 6 is Road Movie. 5 is The Sea. 4 is Eternity. 3 is Good So Bad. 2 is Kill the Romeo. And 1 is Insomnia.
6 is Road Movie. 5 is Kill the Romeo.
Oh, wow.
4 is Eternity. 3 Good So Bad. 2 Insomnia. No, 2 The Sea. 1 Insomnia.
Wow.
Are we doing?
How do we finish this?
I know. Are we doing pitchforks? Are we doing?
Oh no.
Are we doing stars? Are we doing a grade? I don't think so.
No, I mean I think it's like I like this album. I've liked all their albums. I'm in the can for ZB1. There's really not anything bad I'm going to say about anything they're ever going to do.
Genuinely, I have liked all of their mini albums. The songs that I may not align with, like Road Movie, I appreciate what it is, but it's still a competent song.
But even like Crush that I was like really not on board for.
Right.
I have grown. Will sometimes just catch myself singing Crush to myself. Yeah. So I'm sure this is going to happen with Road Movie too. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
I just have to sit with me a little longer than the other ones.
Are any of these songs like your contenders for like your ultimate favorite ZB1 songs of all time?
I would say
because right now
Insomnia is probably in my top 5.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. I would say
this too. I think I like Good So Bad, the song, better than Feel the Pop. But I like the Feel the Pop all with the video more than I like
Good So Bad. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Musically, you like Good So Bad more, but Feel the Pop as a whole package.
Yes. Yeah.
Felt
that
very.
Was, I mean, they put them in pastel tennis.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Insomnia is in my top 5. It's still Melting Point for me. I think Melting Point is the best song that they've ever released.
Wow.
Genuinely.
Wow.
I think my top 5 is Melting Point, Feel the Pop, I'm just going to do it right now. Melting Point, Feel the Pop.
Are you just doing
Bloom.
title tracks?
No. Just my 5 favorite songs of theirs. Melting Point, Feel the Pop, Insomnia, Good So Bad, and In Bloom are like my top 5.
I think my favorite ZB1 song probably forever will be Back to Zero Base.
Oh, totally.
Because I actually sometimes I have to skip it because I cry every
It's the perfect
first track on
for true first track. Like it's like if you were just to think about like chronologically, right? It is the first track that they give us.
I cannot
as a group, and it's perfect.
I cry every single time I hear it. I have so many emotions about that.
That's literally, it goes back to the dream war. Mm-hmm. It's like, is this real? Mm-hmm. Are we dreaming?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The consistency.
Yeah.
And I hope they keep going forward. So hopefully they keep that. You know, they'll keep doing that. But will we keep doing this? How do you feel?
I thought this was really fun. Did you like it?
I did so too.
I felt way less pressure.
Totally. I'm not like good with... we're not music producers, so I don't know words.
Nope.
But
I may not know my words, but I do know my heart.
But I do know ZB1. Mm-hmm. But I hope that at least like I still kind of gave the feel. I mean, you know, it's hard to like put into words how you feel because music is such an evocative art form. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we did our best.
Well, RJ, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
ZEROBASEONE's 4th mini album entitled Cinema Paradise.
This episode was brought to you by the National Public...
Lagunitas Brewing Company.
They were the pub and public radio.
I would like to say that feel free to follow us here on YouTube if this is your first time hearing us talk about ZB1, because we do it a lot. And feel free to check us out on Patreon. You can join us there, and we are covering a lot. A lot.
3 departments. We cover 3 departments.
Yes, we have 3 bustling departments. Dating shows, the BL genre. Survival shows.
And survival shows.
Yeah.
All thanks to ZB1, because they were all 3 in 1.
Yeah, truly.
They gave us all 3
they
in
gave
1.
us all 3 in 1.
So, and now we're here. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Discovering voices. Building worlds.